Alright, now, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It'll be my thoughts on the underrated. A little bit of rant. Something that, or someone that deserves much more respect than people will allow. A website, TV show, book, etc. is so good that the public barely notice how good the product really is. Something or someone is not well known by the mass public, but high quality, something that is better than most people think it is. It means good, but not publicized as much as others, opposed of overrated, cooler than most people think. I think underrated is not abused at all. But sometimes people will misuse it. They'll use like big name product as, oh, it's underrated when it really isn't. If someone says, Call of Duty World at War, like video games, say, oh, that's underrated, then I'll say, no, it isn't. I'll tell you what games are underrated. Darksiders, um, Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, in my opinion. Because people didn't like it for the simple fact the story is boring, trial and error. You gotta like stealth your way from point A to point Z without being seen. You can't kill people. Here's the deal: you can knock them out, but you can't kill them. Why? If you do, mission's over. And everybody knows if you kill a civilian, mission's over. It's that simple. And people will make a case for Splinter Cell conviction. That's fine. But to me, I felt that the game was more like third person action slash shooter than the other classics from the Splinter Cell series, like original Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, Chaos Theory, and Double Agent. Other games like Mercenary series, like Playground Destruction, World in Flames, um, Duke Nukem Forever, in my opinion, most underrated game of 2011. I did say Darksiders already. Freedom Fighters, uh, Star Wars Republic Commando, the game from the original Xbox. Shinobi from the PlayStation 2 exclusive, for the simple fact the mainstream gaming media crushed the game for the simple fact the graphics was terrible, the gameplay was terrible, the concept, well, overall the game was just crap compared to Ninja Gaiden, which I believe that the game was great. Yeah, it took me a month to beat it, but guess what? It's fun, okay? Yeah, you gotta keep killing foes to defeat the cursed sword called Akajiki. Otherwise, you're going to die. It's that simple. There were no checkpoints, which people complain about, which that is an issue, but hey, it's old school. It's about as old school as that game is get, okay? Um, the boss battles were cheap at times, but hey, got around it. It's all good. Just keep playing it. I mean, the story was basic. I mean, what more do you want? Well, you want it to be like Uncharted, or Metal Gear Solid, or Final Fantasy, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Oblivion, Fable? Really? Wow. So, Fight Night Round 3, Burnout Revenge, Super WrestleMania, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, F-Zero. I mean, the list goes on and on for underrated games. Let me know about that, ladies and gentlemen. As for movies, I'll say the Last Dragon. I mean, people killed it because it's not this epic movie that they made it out to be, but sometimes you gotta have low expectations or zero expectations while you going into a product that you want to look at or play, whatever. I love the fight scenes, love the music. The dialogue was corny. The story was basic. So that's the way I got out of it. The Legend of the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, Rumble in the Bronx. So it's all good. I mean, it's underrated movies. You just gotta look and search it and see it for yourself. Music, there are songs that are underrated. I can say the albums. The only album for me, the most underrated. Well, two of them. Glenn Lewis, Outside My Window. He's a R&B artist out of Canada, and Space Jam soundtrack from the movie. I can play that. I can play the entire album without skipping one song. Okay, it was really good. I love the songs. It's whatever. And cartoon series, I'll say Visionaries, Silverhawks. Those are the only two things, two cartoon shows I can think of. They were really great. They just didn't get a lot of attention like other big name shows like Thundercats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Captain N, Ghostbusters, Dennis the Menace, Alvin the Chipmunks, and all other shows in the 80s and the 90s as well. So, sports is really hard to identify which athletes are underrated. It's really, really hard. But I'll post a link in the description box for it. As for websites, like on YouTube, I can think of at least a couple to a few users. I'll just throw out three names, like Wheezy Gaming. He plays with his friends, and he also played with his wife. Like Call of Duty games or Battlefield Bad Company 2. He does the College War series or something like that. It gives you the basic how to get better at first-person shooter games. He does this the Raging series. It's funny. You gotta love it. You're gonna love his channel. Next up is Moral Rules NHL and Jay Easy, most electrifying man on YouTube. So those are the three I can come up with. I'll throw you some more usernames in the description box. So my final thoughts on underrated. Just search for them, and who knows, you'll like it. Hell, you'll even love it. Oh yeah, for anime, this is one more before I get on out of here. On anime, I would say like characters of Dragon Ball Z. Well, Dragon Ball series in general is Piccolo. He's my favorite character. I feel he's underrated, and the way they treated him over the years, like later years in Dragon Ball Z into Dragon Ball GT, they just basically threw him to the wayside, and I'm like, really? Are you serious? Speaking of Dragon Ball GT, I really like Dragon Ball GT a lot. I don't know why everyone hates it so much. It's not as bad as you people make it out to be. They treat it as if it's a black sheep in the family or something. Good lord. Samurai Champloo. Love the story, love the fight scenes, love the characters, love the dialogues, the music. Whew, man. Oh my god, I love that series. So there's nothing more I can say. So without further ado, I'm throwing the peace sign. You know what to do. SA17 signing out. Thanks for listening.